Alexa.
Alexa,
don't be
turn my
rude.
lights red.
Welcome to
Pussy
another
ass
episode on the
Android.
Credits and Chords. I'm your host, Practical.
Pussy. Oh, sorry. Hey, how are you?
We started. This is Rex.
We started. Yo, what up? This is Brandon. Coming at you hot.
DB in
coming
the
hot.
house.
Today, we're going to talk Japanese director Akira Kurosawa. We're going to talk 5 of his films. Unfortunately, we're not going to talk all of his samurai films, but a couple.
I might bring one up. Just saying.
That's fine. We're here to honor the man.
Don't
so
you
talk
do
about
it.
what you'd like. Today, we're going to talk Ikaru, Throne of Blood, High and Low, Ran, and for those of us who watched Rhapsody in August, we'll talk about that.
Who did watch that?
I did.
Look, I just didn't want to sign up for
Hell
Perv.
yeah.
For Perv.
Yeah, what the
You
hell
actually
is a-
didn't watch it? Okay, good.
What the hell
I
is a
thought I was the only
Plex?
Plex is
Dude,
one of
you
those.
knew I
It's one of
wasn't
those
watching that.
Tubies, man. You know me, dude. I know all the free little apps and what have
It's
you.
so unknown that my app that tells me where everything is streaming didn't even know it existed. So when you said that, I was like, I thought I looked, and I looked
Dude, I
back.
literally went on there to make a new account, and it was like, oh, you already have an email attached to this. I was like, okay. And then I tried to use my email, and it wasn't. I was like, well, whatever other email I used, I don't know what it is anymore.
You're a little streamer
So-
whore, aren't you? You just going around random streamers you don't even know and just putting your
Man,
info in,
because I watch the stuff
Paying
you
them?
guys don't.
paying them and shit.
I
Like
watch.
what?
I watch the bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what are
You
talking
didn't even
about?
watch Rhapsody in
The only
August.
thing you watch,
Well, yeah, except for
Teletubbies.
Dude, I'm not watching Richard Gere shove a gerbil up his ass, dog.
Wait,
alright?
so none of you guys watched it?
Nah, dude. I was like, it's unavailable. And then he said it's on whatever the fuck he said it's on. And I was like, I'm not watching that. Okay.
I was able to get Plex on my Roku TV.
See,
It
look
was
at that. Aaron figured it out.
I mean, I probably could have got it online on my computer, but like,
You said do the 7-day free
I
trial.
already have like 45 different streaming services. If it's not on one of them, it ain't gonna get watched.
It ain't.
It ain't.
Jeez.
Sorry,
Hell yeah.
I'm spicy
Well,
today.
well, at least you'll get to talk about it.
I mean, we could talk about Seven Samurai.
Yo,
true.
Jimbo.
I mean, we've probably all seen that one.
Absolutely.
Maybe not Rex.
No, yeah.
Rex is like, I've heard the name. That's about
I
it.
saw it. I saw many times it on the screen, and I was like, "Why did we pick this movie?"
Rex, you should definitely watch Seven Samurai. I mean, if you're a fan of film at all, there are so many things in that movie that will just make sense to you.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's a popular one, too. It's like one of his most popular films.
For good reason too.
Yeah. I just kind of went with what you guys have been doing recently where, I picked a couple I hadn't seen.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
No,
I
for
like
sure.
that.
I hadn't seen any of these except Ran, and I kind of
Saw nothing.
petitioned for Ran because it is just, I think it's his masterpiece. I honestly think it's better than Seven Samurai. I fucking love that movie.
Well, I intentionally picked Ran because it was one of my favorites as well, but also because Throne of Blood is a Shakespeare adaptation just like that.
Mhm.
So I figured that would give us a good opportunity to talk a little bit shit about Shakespeare because he sucks, but also talk about how good
Well,
that Kurosawa
what if I was a
is.
theater kid,
So
man? What if
talk
I
about
enjoyed
Shakespeare
Shakespeare?
like
Man,
that.
I was in drama too,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah,
And
what are you
Shakespeare,
talking
I mean,
about? That's how you
Shakespeare
learn.
sucks.
Just because you were behind the gymnasium playing jacks with the kids while we were in theater doesn't mean you get to talk like that.
He was good when you're younger and it's like your introduction to storytelling and like plays and things like that. It's okay. But once you become an adult and you like appreciate better things, Shakespeare's just really not that good.
Well, Shakespeare's stories aren't good. It's his frame of work that's good. His themes are what
That's
make
why
it
I like
good.
Murosawa's
But that's
interpretation of
not-
his work so much
storytelling
better.
Is
Yeah.
mediocre, but it's all about his themes and the framing he does for the story.
Absolutely.
That's just
yeah.
how I saw. Because I agree. Shakespeare is just pretty boring, honestly.
No, he's good. Like I said, he's a good jumping off point. A lot of people are influenced, by his work, which I can't blame him. And I like some of that shit. Like we talked about Romeo and Juliet. I know Brandon hates the DiCaprio.
I hate
Dude,
all
that
of the
movie
Romeo
rules.
and Juliets. I think that is just overrated.
It's not a story you're into.
Nah,
Beautiful
It's a little
story.
dramatic.
I like the violent ones that Shakespeare did, like Macbeth, Throne of Blood.
Yeah,
King Lear.
King Lear.
Ran, yeah.
Which is Ran, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, let's start talking about Kurosawa, guys. I mean, what are some things that stood out to you watching these 5 films in particular?
I think, in all honesty, I mean, I've watched a fair amount of black and white film. I would say, whether it was intentional or because it was the time period and the color wasn't accessible. But I just think that this guy is like the master of it.
He's a master of his medium for sure.
Right.
Like, because he didn't have color, he didn't have an alternative,
Right.
and the way that he brings the black and white to life is so crazy. Like,
and not only
he's
that,
incredible.
he was doing,
cinematographer.
Besides the black and white, he was doing these camera techniques that, like, I forgot that this movie was made in 1957. Throne of Blood, especially, dude. When he was like coming to run out, when the other was it the other brother, the guy at Castle 3 was like hunting, and when he was running out in that camera angle where it was like Kurosawa,
followed him. Yeah,
he was like running backwards, dude. It just blew me away. Again, this film was in 1957. It's as old as my dad. Like, it kind of blew me away that he had that vision at such an early time, especially in film. So little things like that. But I would say the black and white thing is like the coup de grace for me. I think it's well done. The shading and the lighting is just right. It's appropriate enough to where you can tell if it's daytime or nighttime. Yeah, he's good at it. He's really good at it. So.
He's all right. I like most of his movies.
Why is everybody all right to you?
Because they're all right. All right. What's wrong with that? Why does everybody got to be so great or so bad?
I can't wait for my picks.
Oh, he's going to be in trouble.
Because these people that we talk about on the show are people they're great for different reasons than, why other people are great. They all have their own unique blend of what influenced them before and what came after. So it's interesting to talk about them, and just you got to appropriately talk about their work, and that's kind of how you see the scope of what's great about them. So to just say like he's okay, it's like, okay, well,
ask me about David Fincher.
I know you love David Fincher.
God.
He's all right.
I love that about you, Rex.
He's all right. He's all right. No, this guy's cool.
Yeah, right.
Bont of you. It's very bont of you.
This is a great guy. I like his stuff. I'll be honest, I've not watched very many Japanese movies at all. I mean like American-made ones and some other ones, but not like actual ones where the whole cast is Japanese. It's all in subtitles. I just haven't watched many of these at all. So it was really sweet to see this, and he's got good themes in his movies, and I do like the parallels and the changes that he makes in terms of like with Ran and King of Blood. Like, he changes a lot of the dynamic with who kind of propels what happens.
I think both, also just to interject, both Ikiru and High and Low, there's a point in both of those movies where they totally change.
Oh, right. Absolutely. It's like a flip over.
And it's so sick.
It's cool. I mean, he's all right. I like him. Like I said, I'll finish off seeing him. I'll probably watch Seven Samurais.
Hagemusha, that's a good one too. That one is so sick. That's another one of his later ones that's in color. And when he's able to use color, this guy fucks, dude.
I like the black and white because one of my favorites.
The black and white is great.
High and Low is when that guy burns the purse, and like it's one of the few times you see color and it's red. Right. It was just a really sweet scene.
Or the chimney.
Yeah, just random things like that thrown in there. Like, it was the 50s, so somehow they added a little bit of color, did that, and it was tight.
Well, I think that was
that movie was made in 63. Color was available at that. I mean, I think even color was available in the 50s. It was just more expensive.
I thought it was in the 50s after Ikaru. By the way back then.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I liked them all. The only one, Ikaru, with the ending, I didn't like.
Really?
Yeah. Is my own fault. I thought it was going to end before it did. Like, when he went off and made that statement, like he figured out, he frog-faced how to like do what he needed to do. It was awesome because he went in, and like the beginning of the movie, you have this kind of nonchalant people getting passed around government like they always do. And then, kind of circles back around, and he makes it a point of his thing. And I was like, this is a great way to end this movie. I really like it. And then it goes on for about another half hour longer of them kind of reminiscing about the guy. and it just kind of threw me off, and I didn't care for it as much.
That's where it changed, and I loved that part. I thought that was awesome. I was like, wait, he's dead. The movie should be over. And then it was like another, almost hour of them just like reminiscing about him, but like showing these moments that you didn't get to see because you just kind of glossed over them when he was alive. But then when you're watching the room full of people reminiscing about him, it flashes back again to him, and it shows these moments of him living his last moments and like doing good and helping these women in this like poor area of town, and to the point where they are just straight following him around for the whole movie. And I thought that was fucking sweet, dude. Like he just has like 7 women behind him at all times, just like ready to hook him up.
It's like Snow White in reverse, dude.
Oh yeah. No, that movie made me feel very happy. I like that movie.
Wow, that's a lot, dude.
I thought it ended.
Strike an emotion out of
It made me
you
happy.
from a movie. Woo. I get shit for it. You can barely crack one.
That's when you know it means something, motherfucker.
Yeah, all the ones I cry at mean something.
It doesn't mean anything when you do it to everything.
Yeah,
I
motherfucker,
do not.
You're not conservative enough with your tears.
You cried when Optimus Prime died in the second Transformers. Don't even.
Oh hell no, dude! Those movies suck. You know how I feel about those movies, man. Don't even talk to me about freaking toe thumbs, dude.
Dude. Love Michael Bay.
Toe
And
thumbs.
One of the
Lance.
most beautiful women on the planet before plastic surgery, and it's like,
Cool.
Yeah,
Why
but
didn't she
one
get
thing
new
wrong
thumbs?
with
yeah,
her,
but
she has
her
a couple
thumbs. Yeah.
extra toes. I mean, but it just
Hey
ruins
man,
everything.
fix those thumbs. That's all I ask.
Look, man,
Fix
just don't
them
look
fucking
at them.
thumbs, dude. Yeah.
Don't look at 'em?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
holding
ever
this
look at
woman's hand.
somebody's thumb.
If I'm holding this woman's
just look
hand,
at it,
hell,
I'm gonna
let
tug on it.
alone asking
me
her
tell
to
you
be my
something.
wife, I'm
me
gonna
tell you
look at her
something.
hand. I'm gonna look at her thumbs. I want to see
That
normal
is
looking
just
ones.
a crazy thing.
If Megan Fox shows up soaking wet at your doorstep,
Not opening it.
trying to fuck you, you're
Show me the
not
thumbs.
fucking
Show me
you
the
because of the
thumbs.
thumbs. Yeah, sorry.
Show me the thumbs.
No, that's his barometer for every woman now. No, let me see those thumbs, lady.
No, that's
I
not
agree
it at
with you, and
all.
I think in that situation, he might let a thumb go.
I don't think he would.
I'm
I
gonna-
think he's firm on the
He's
Fox
like,
hatred.
I have mittens.
I mean, I just
Okay,
don't think he's
mittens?
attracted to her, which is fine. But he's
Yeah.
gonna blame it on the thumbs
It's okay
rather
if you
than
don't
just
like her.
saying, "Nah, I don't like her."
I just don't like her.
There, dude. Respect.
That's
Hey,
fine.
yeah, there you
That's
go.
totally cool.
Some of us love Megan Fox. Some of us love.
This is a podcast of growing and learning.
Y'all
No, it
launched
isn't.
into
No, this is a podcast about getting fucked.
growing and
Uh-oh.
learning. Well, you guys talked a little bit about Ikaru already, so we'll talk about that now. 1952. Why don't you kick us off, Danny? Because you didn't say much about it, so you start us off on this one.
Let us know.
Well, you know it's going to be a depressing movie when like the opening scene is like, them talking about this guy developing stomach cancer, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, me as a kid, I used to always think that word was like made up when I was a kid, not really knowing that like it's been happening for years on years on years. So
Wait, cancer?
yes,
Okay, just to be clear.
sorry, I might have autism. Okay. But anyways, so you knew it was going to kind of be a sad story, and like this guy just has the most like simplistic life. He's working down at the what is that, City Hall or whatever, and that part in the movie in the beginning really pissed me off, where it was like they kept having those girls do the runaround. I felt so bad for those women, dude. It was just like, how many people did they go through till they finally just
Exactly.
like went back? It was horrible. But
No, all that
anyways,
bureaucratic nonsense is
Blood
like
boiling
that's what
shit.
holds up all fucking government processes.
I
It's
liked
bullshit.
I liked a lot of like the flashbacks he would have of like watching his son grow up and stuff, and like it kind of gave me like Christmas Carol vibes, like kind of going into the past and not really certain about his future, not knowing what it would hold was kind of nice.
He knew what his future was. He was dying.
Right, but so this movie, like when I think Kurosawa, I don't really, think of like a kind of like a serious tone movie like this. So it was kind of a breath of fresh air. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, because I was like, oh, this seems very serious. Like, where is the killing? Where is the samurai? But
Where's
Is
the
he going to
killing?
be a samurai soon?
Right, right. And I thought the lead actor was great. I don't think he looks like a frog. Come on, guys.
Not the whole time, man. In certain scenes, like
No,
when
He
he
looks
he's,
like
makes
a
some.
sweet old
when he's
man.
looking at the girl at the end when they're in their last talk in the booth, and he's next to her, and he's all,
Jeez.
yeah,
I
that's
don't
all
know
bug eyed.
why, but this movie gave me similar vibes to that Wim Wenders film we discussed, Perfect Days.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, it did.
for some reason, it made me feel some of the same feelings, even though the situations are not quite the same.
Right.
But like the vibe, the atmosphere, and like the feelings that it invoked were similar in a way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think what's his name? I'm gonna
this guy,
um,
Takashi Shimura.
Takashi Shimura. What was his name in Ikuru though?
Kenji.
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 Yeah.
I feel like Kenji has more of a purpose than Perfect Days guy, because once he finds out he's dying, he kind of goes through it a little bit. You know, his first, solution is he goes out and gets drunk, and then he meets that guy that he becomes really good friends with, and they kind of get drunk, and then they talk, and that guy makes him kind of realize some things, and then he meets that woman who he's seen at his office, and they, she kind of shows him how, like, she teaches him the title of the movie, Ikuru, which is to live. And it kind of, like, from there, they're having a good time. She even feels bad about it at a point, thinking like it's a creepy, like, weird relationship, and there's like nothing sexual about it at all. It's just he's trying to be around someone youthful, I think, at that point, and they have a good time, and they feel good together, and then he moves into helping them, cutting through the bureaucratic nonsense. And I don't know, I really liked his sense of purpose once he found it at a point. It made me feel good, because he's like, no, I got only so much time to live, but I'm going to do something good for these women in this part of town. And then he makes a sick ass park.
Nope, Perfect Days.
Perfect Days.
I'm just kidding, but yeah,
I totally forgot I was comparing that to Perfect Days.
what I meant by it was just
Cleaning
the,
toilets is way cooler.
just the appreciation of life and its beauty is really all what I meant. By
Yeah,
that,
but it takes Kenji a little bit to get there, Like, you start off with Homeboy knowing that. I also just wanted to point out this picture of Akira Kurosawa on Wikipedia that is fucking sweet.
Hell yeah.
Just fucking getting that stogie, dude.
I like his little Gilligan hat, then.
I know, it's a great hat.
Gilligan Kurosawa. Hell yeah. I liked this movie, but I'm gonna be honest. Probably my second to least favorite of these films. Rhapsody in August was definitely my least favorite, and since it's really just going to be me talking about it.
It was my least favorite too.
I'll just tell you,
for sure.
Couldn't watch it.
I liked it because I hadn't seen it, and yeah, it was my least favorite. But I would say that this one is probably just right above it. Not because it's bad, but just because I like the other three so much.
I mean,
more.
There definitely wasn't enough killing in this movie for me.
10-4.
It was lacking in the death, but
there's only really one death in this movie.
I like it though, and the use of black and white obviously is not a choice, an artistic choice at that time period, but he still uses the camera in perfect ways,
Kenji on that little swing in the snow, that is like literally one of the most beautiful little shots in cinema history. It's so perfect.
In cinema history, wow, that's a bold statement.
Dude, that is like literally a perfect shot. It is beautiful.
I mean, Kurosawa is a cinema history type director. I mean, people talk about him, they love him. Most of his movies are on Criterion. Like he's a pretty big deal to a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. Like I said, I thought it was good. I don't know how you fellas feel about it, but I mean, I don't know how Brandon feels
I
about
loved
it.
Rhapsody in August. It was just a delight. I recommend it to my friends, but Ikaru, on the other hand, is okay.
Excuse you. God damn.
You just recommended a movie you didn't watch.
What do you mean?
You just said, yeah, Rhapsody in August, I would recommend it to a friend, but
He's
Ikaru
joking, you fucking pussy.
went over my head. Sorry.
Hell yeah, got him.
Ikaru was all right. Definitely not my favorite of these ones. Like I said, I thought the movie ended, so I was like washing my hands of this movie, getting up to go, and then kind of went on. I wouldn't say dragged on because it did end on another great note, but just I don't know. I really liked the first half of that movie. I liked the characters, the dude who told him that he was gonna die, because if not, the doctors would have just told me he had that ulcer. It's just there were a lot of things in the movie I liked, but then when like halfway or 3/4 of the way it stops, cuts off, and then it's all these people just talking about him who weren't really in the movie at first. So there's no like connection to these people, and I get it's more like a friend reminiscing type thing of somebody, but
Well, they all worked in the office that he worked in.
Yeah, but you see him what, 2 or 3 times when they
That's
say,
the
"Where's he
point.
at?"
Like,
Where's he
yeah,
at?
that's
But-
that's the
trying to-
point.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the other characters, I liked more. I like his dynamic with the girl, like what he was looking for in life, and then I don't know.
It was also really early in the morning when I watched this, so maybe just
You're just in a feel good mood. You're bright.
yeah,
early,
maybe that's why it was able to
bushy-tailed.
get me. I was like laying in bed watching it on my iPad on my pillows. It was not. It was nice actually.
Hell
Alright.
yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Hot.
I
What
watched
about
all
you,
these
Danny?
movies in like a marathon. It was fucked.
Danny?
I started this one off, man.
Yeah, this is my first one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? We're
Yeah,
going
okay.
to the next one, homeboy. Keep track.
Hey,
Keep
man,
up.
there's a lot going on. I'm just trying to keep things moving. Speaking of moving, 1957, Throne of Blood.
Moving on up.
An adaptation of Macbeth, like we talked about the whole Shakespeare thing. I think probably the best adaptation of it in general. Like you were saying earlier, Brandon, the samurai setting really elevates the story.
Dude, the costume design fucks me up in all of his samurai movies, dude. They look so good.
Yeah, they do.
What do you mean costume?
The costume design, their outfits in these movies.
I'm just
Man,
fucking with you,
He's
on
man.
a roll
hitting me
today.
with zingers. You guys are just falling for it.
You guys are
Oh,
too passionate. It's all right. I love it. Anyways,
yo,
keep
let
going.
me smoke you.
Whoa. That escalated quickly.
Where at?
There'll be no running fades on this podcast, right?
I did choose Throne of Blood intentionally, though, because I do love it. It's of the 5 movies, this one and High and Low were my favorites. So up until I rewatched Ran, obviously, but we'll get into that. These two were why I chose him, though, for this month. And Throne of Blood has been one of my favorites since I first saw it. And I don't know, it's just sick. Like whenever I play a game like Dark Souls or any kind of game where there's potentially samurai stuff, even a little bit with the new Assassin's Creed, like I think of Throne of Blood because it's visually just so striking and its atmosphere and shit, and I don't know, I just love it. It's one of those fucking bangers to me personally. But
I'm gonna take it from here because I got some gripes with this movie.
Whoa.
Oh,
no way.
You
I
got some gabagool with this one?
Gabagool. I do like
Gabagool.
this movie in general.
I mean-
I like it. Tale as old as time with the curse of being too ambitious and what you'll do. Plus that his wife.
It was that woman, yeah.
His
Like,
wife, yeah, but it was
he
his
was all good. Ready to like wait for it just to happen, and she's like, "No, let's speed it up, baby."
But she became pregnant, so priorities changed, and ambition drove him to make sure he kept it within his house because he was
The
going to have
seed
a
is
kid.
king. The seed is
Exactly.
king.
But anyways, movie's great. I like most of it. Here are my 2 gripes about this movie, and it pissed me off. One, I think only 2 times in the movie do they pull out their damn samurai sword and use it, and not to kill anybody. He pulled it out to swing at the witch. Obviously, she's a witch. Didn't work. And then later on, when he sees Mickey, right? Is that his name?
Miki.
Miki, yeah.
He sees Miki and he gives all crazy and like goes to pull it out and he starts swinging. Like that's it. The whole time we have an entire 2.5 hour movie of samurais, and we see the sword used twice, not even to kill anybody, not to fight, nothing. I can get past it though. I like the movie. Second big gripe.
Yeah, but they look good.
They do look good, but you still do not use it. It's just infuriating.
And Toshiro Mifune's
A war
facial
movie.
every time. Dude, he's like
He's
the
the
goat.
craziest of
He's
faces.
the goat of Japanese actors, dude. He's got the best faces.
A lot of expressions. And here's my second one. The way he died. It was like a freaking 6-minute scene of just garbage.
Dude, that was
I
the
am
best
down.
part of the movie,
I am
dude.
down for a good ending where somebody dies. You guys know me, but when he's running back and forth, just screaming,
I was
and they just
thinking of
keep
you the
shooting
entire
more
time that was happening. I was
more
like, oh, Rex
arrows.
is gonna love this. You
Oh
didn't
my
like
god,
it.
I
Wow.
can't. How many arrows did they have? Like I know there was a whole army for this one guy, but like, oh, arrows here, then arrows here, and he runs back and forth, then he breaks through them all crazy, and then it rinses and repeats. You get 6 shots of the same
So
archers
awesome.
under the
Dude,
stairs.
it's so sick.
It's like yeah, it is, except the third round. It starts to get real tedious and really just not fun. And then we
you know
finally
what?
get to the
Fuck
part.
you.
Fuck you and your repetitiveness. You could have cut it by 5 minutes and it would have been epic.
What
But
about
you
when
just
Boromir
drug
gets
it
all
on
them
too
arrows?
long. You took a good thing and you drug it on too long, and then his slow walk at the end and the way he died was epic. But getting there, my God, I couldn't. I was
Washizu. That guy was
Washizu,
sick.
yeah, he is tight. But dude, I couldn't stand that ending because I thought it was gonna be great. I was like, they're gonna take this dude down, and then it was just him screaming for 6 minutes, running back and forth. Every
That
now
was
and
the
then
best
get an
part of the
arrow.
movie, dude.
I
It
just
was
want to
awesome.
say the
I liked it
archers are
too,
terrible.
yeah.
They got him like 6 times.
You know how
And all
hard it
those
is to hit
arrows,
someone with an arrow, though, dude?
they were right
Cinematic.
under the stairs under him.
Yeah,
It's
but there's
also
like
a movie, dude. Like, think of how
Look,
they had to try to do that in
look, man.
1957.
Look, I still like the movie. It was just a gripe of mine that it just drug on a little too long. Was it a cool scene? Yeah. But a lot of things are cool, but it stops being cool after you watch it for too long.
Well, no,
You know?
that was
Like if a
awesome.
good rap battle goes for 10 minutes, after 5 minutes, you don't care.
I'm done after
I
10
was gonna
seconds.
say, yeah.
Whatever, but still.
You guys are pussies.
My point being is that it was awesome and then it wasn't. And then the samurai swords. But besides that, I do like this movie a lot. Again, I hated his wife. She, from the beginning, her slow walk. I mean, I know in their culture, like geisha style, they're very petite
Dude,
and like
you know
they
she's
move weird.
stunting with that makeup and the eyebrows way up here.
I
I
love
had
that.
my
She-
girlfriend look
That was
up.
a bad bitch back
I
then,
had to
though.
look that up, and
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
that because they shaved their eyebrows, and the length between their this and here was
Yeah.
too long, so they had
No.
to draw their eyebrows up here to shorten it. And I was like, that's like, to me, that's like cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
So you got eyebrows right.
Well, then they got the homies with the Chan Magi, you know, where they just shave the top of their head.
Yeah, but that's
For,
to
like,
flip
their-
their helmet, man. That's for war.
Yeah, but like
the
that's
geishas
still
aren't going to
that's
war
still
right now.
a wild look, bro.
It is. I agree. Absolutely. You're not wrong. Not wrong at all.
I think I
But,
can pull it off.
no, his wife was
I mean, I'm halfway
guy.
there anyway. I don't think I could.
dye
you
your
that
hair black
rat,
and get it
dude.
going. You got to
Get you
start.
that rat tail.
Yeah.
It still grows thick back here, just not up here.
Just get that rat
Honestly.
tail going and do it. That'd be sick.
Go the samurai way.
Damn.
Yeah. And then just start growing this out. Just this.
Yeah, but I'll just be like a fat samurai at the end of his road.
Yeah. You've lived a hard life.
That'd be
man.
awesome.
You're trying to just live
Women
it
and
out.
booze, yeah. Bring me my woman.
Suck
Sound like Genghis
the
Khan,
one
dude.
was the craziest one in the whole thing. Like, I would never imagine that someone could use pride and ambition to make you kill your best friend.
Oh, what she was
mean-
using was that little hamster wheel in the beginning, dude.
Oh, the ghost?
That was very disturbing, honestly.
I thought it was
No
a
way,
dude.
that chick was
I
sick,
thought it was a
dude.
dude forever.
That's what I thought.
I was
too.
like, this is a weird dude doing this.
I mean, it's a ghost. Maybe it could be both.
I mean, best
Yeah,
friends have been betrayed
ectoplasm.
for a whole lot less. Let me tell
I
you.
know.
Oh,
but I mean,
for
like,
sure, yeah.
this isn't an era of such deep honor.
I'm just surprised it wasn't over a
Except in these
lady.
movies, actually. What lady? The She's basically
I'm just
like,
saying.
if you don't do this, you're just a pussy. You'll never lead. Mickey will take it from you. Like this, she was
Fucked
scary.
She honestly
And she walks hella
wanted
slow.
Mickey, dude.
She walks hella slow too. It always bothered me because it's
Yeah,
so
there's a woman like
daunting.
that in Rand too. Like she's
Name
crazy.
one.
That chick is crazy.
No,
Yeah,
she's
she was wild.
she's the most
That chick is
brilliant
awesome.
tactician.
And she
ever.
is awesome.
She is the
That chick
most
is fucking
brilliant. Yeah.
sick.
The goat, dude.
But
That type of shit used to happen in ancient Egypt too. Just fucking the chick manipulates the whole situation like a
Infiltrates.
fucking G.
Cleopatra
Yeah.
coming at you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
and that's my spiel. Besides those two things, movie was sweet.
Hell yeah.
Movie was sweet.
Yeah. It beautifully shot. I love the white light on the ghosts, and that made them feel really ethereal. And I mean, yeah, how much more could I say after Rex? This is just a great little speech you had there.
Fog also.
What do you mean?
Fog.
No, what are you talking about? He was just hating on the whole goddamn.
No, I
thing.
was not.
anymore.
I just
No,
the
he's
two things I didn't like. The rest of the movie was great. You motherfucker! Don't twist my words. I can have my gripes and still like a movie.
I'm just fucking around.
I like the first Transformers.
I love the performance in this movie. Toshiro Mifune is, he's in all this guy's movies mostly, and he's just a fucking badass. His performance in this, again, so expressive, and just the way he delivers, he makes me laugh. Not in I'm making fun of him kind of way. He's just a badass. Like, I was like, fuck, god damn.
He's got that guttural when he talks.
Yeah.
So good. No, he was the best part of this movie. I did like the chick, don't get me wrong, but you're right. It's his expressiveness is it's captivating. You can't kind of take your eyes off him. You kind of forget about the other characters sometimes. But my gripe with this movie was the ghost, dude. Again, what was she churning? There was a hamster
that
wheel
little
or something.
wheel, dude. I don't know.
That was
That's that wheel of fate,
And,
dude.
and honestly, if I'm riding my horse through some weird labyrinth forest and I come across that, why'd those guys open the cage, dude? I'm not trying to go in there.
You're not curious? No, if you're with me, we're opening that.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
But you can open it all you want, dude. I've seen Raiders of the
time.
Lost Ark, bro.
You're coming with me.
I'm gonna close my eyes and
release
I'm gonna go
some
in the
shit
other
on this
direction.
planet to open it and look at it.
Yeah,
Let me
but
peek
what
at
if
it.
what if there's riches?
Yeah.
You
If you
better
don't go
give it
with
up.
me. No, if you don't go with me, you
You
get
say
shit.
give it up.
Wow,
I ain't
dude.
giving up nothing.
I'll
You
take
don't want
you
to
to
come in
court.
there with me? You're gonna small claims court today on small claims court.
He didn't give me treasure.
Fucking Judge Judy.
I mean, if she's
That's
so.
the
you have the
godforsaken
receipt?
jungle with him.
But yeah, and I thought it was
Yeah.
so funny too, how that one guy knew the path. I don't think anybody knew the path because there was that one scene where this is the one that I thought was a little bit more excessive. I know you were upset about the arrows, but when they kept going back and forth, I'm like, dude, they didn't even turn the camera off. He was just like, hey, go right into the fog, and when I know I can't see you, just come back.
Yeah, I was sad, dude.
But it was getting so repetitive. Okay, we get it. They're lost in the fog. Got it. But for me, the arrow scene was iconic because he had, gotten to this point and, was at the point of his prophecy where he knew that, he was still going to run the show, whether the witch was right or wrong. And the way he died was just I thought it was sick, dude. Yeah, he kept running back and forth, but he got hit with 30 arrows for sure. And then, the way he kind of falls into the mud or whatever, that was, it was sick.
They shot more
Yeah.
arrows than they did in 300 to black out the sun to kill that guy.
That's how you know. Washizu.
That movie sucks.
9 billion of them missed.
What movie? 300?
300.
You're a pussy.
That movie's
Movie
tight.
sucks.
It's tight to just watch as an action movie without giving it anything.
No,
Like-
talk about
It's just an
overrated
entertaining
swill.
movie.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's
Just
garbage.
watching a bunch of oiled up buff dudes.
Someone pick Zack Snyder and make him watch it.
Yeah, I like Zack Snyder, but I still hate a bunch of his movies.
Yeah, I mean most of his new
Tell me
movies are
which
even
ones you
worse.
hate.
Those two new ones
No,
on
no,
Netflix.
We'll talk about that. We'll cover him.
no.
We
Please
shouldn't.
no.
Please no. Why, you hate him? You're not a fan?
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
I think visually, he's a really good visual guy. He just needs someone else to write his scripts
Yep.
because he is a horrible writer. He thinks he is a way better writer than he is no Akira Kurosawa. And with Rebel Moon, he really tried to be Akira Kurosawa, which actually I'm trying to make this relevant. And yeah, dude, that man.
Yeah, those.
I think I actually gave those
so
movies
bad.
decent ratings.
Really?
But only I don't even know why.
The director's cut is better.
I watched the director's cuts,
but it's still a pile of trash, dude. I watched it,
and it's so blatantly just Seven Samurai. Like, what the fuck are people doing harvesting wheat in the space future? What? Why? Why is that a thing?
It is kind of weird how he ended up tying in.
They gotta
for
eat,
real,
man.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's got to eat, but like,
you think super space, you got to have that wheat.
Yeah. Dude, I bet they don't have like synthetic meat generators in that era. Like, it has to like they're still harvesting wheat.
Some people want that OG.
Hyperspace travel, and you're harvesting wheat. Like it's 1865. No, get fucked.
He's got to build
absolutely.
He's got to build a
Anthony
connection.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins as the robot was so sick, though.
In the director's cut.
Why'd you spend so long talking about the wheat?
Because that's the movie spends so long on the wheat, dude.
That's like somebody in Star Wars being like, "There's fire in space." That's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
No, but no. It's ridiculous. And the movie spends so much time on it. It's dare I say, I'm retarded.
Well, we do know that they can't travel to space because she crash landed on their planet. They stole the spaceship they had to leave the planet. I forgot about
that was just like a normal planet.
Yeah, it's not it's like a planet. Okay, but
people. Okay.
Like,
so
I'm not going to defend it all, but I'm just going to say what we saw.
Why does the Imperial Armada need the wheat?
It's probably more about control. The food is good to have to feed an army because you can't feed an army, you can't win a war, but it's more about placing control. They're on a domination mission. They're going to a planet.
I just feel
never watch this movie.
That's so bad.
I just feel like it's so out of place in a sci-fi futuristic type, like, I don't know.
Maybe that's why she liked it so much. It was a change from her life and what she lived. It was peaceful, different, calm.
Which, if you don't watch the director's cut, you know nothing about.
My closing thoughts on these guys is don't watch them.
Yeah, just don't. The wheat.
Zack Snyder has his highs and lows, which leads us to Kurosawa's 1963.
I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like Vaseline.
I could go on a tangent, so you railed me in pretty good.
I gotta keep us on track, you know. Like, we can talk about Snyder eventually, though. I'm sure someone will. Someone will pick that motherfucker. But high and low, like I said, this was one of my favorite Kurosawa movies before we did this, and it still is, if not my favorite. It's real hard to choose between this and Rand. I love this movie. And we talked about it before we hit record a little bit, but the whole police process and how involved they are and competent they are, might I add, when, versus like American cop shit is usually like, well, we barely even saw the shady cops.
It's usually shady cops who, where you can't fully trust them. Like, these guys seem like good guys. I mean, shit, they come in the beginning of the movie in the delivery truck, like them not even knowing that they were cops. So that right there just spoke volumes on how serious they were taking the situation.
Well, I do want to point out that they did also great police work because the original detectives felt obligated to them. So the whole entire police force was dedicated to finding the money. Mm-hmm. So the resources they needed, where in a lot of movies it's like, lone detective, got no money and got nobody.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look at that fucking sacrifice that dude made. The businessman,
great.
Like, to save somebody else's kid, he still did it. He's a G. I just like everyone in the movie. Like, it's just, man, I love it. It's good. It's really good. And you guys were talking about that color scheme shit earlier, even though it's black and white. But where the scene with the pink smoke in the chimney, even in my letterboxd, I mentioned that because it's just such a standout scene. It's just, I don't know, I loved it. But yeah, I love this movie. So
I liked
It's
all the
also
heroin
a
in this
turning
movie.
point in the movie, and yeah, the heroin's awesome.
and the heroin was also good. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
it's-
course.
Oh yeah, let's bring
I
that
didn't
up.
test it, but it
Yeah.
looked good.
Jeez.
It was like a whole plot point in like the last third of the movie.
There was one thing that I thought was interesting watching this. I was very intrigued by his wife. She didn't look like she was fully Japanese. Was she maybe like possibly half white, or I don't know.
Maybe she was
Maybe I
turning
just-
Japanese.
No, Jesus. I'm trying to be serious here. I just thought it was interesting, especially being
thought you were
opposite
fucking around
of
this
our
whole
guy,
time.
dude. Like, and him being such a powerful on-screen actor. She was pretty subtle, but it's not about her. He's the guy with the money and whatnot. But I liked the opening scene with the shoes and stuff too, because I'm like, isn't this movie about a hostage situation? What the hell is this guy doing being Al Bundy right now? Like,
I know we've 25 minutes of talking about shoes.
right?
I
Exactly.
will not sell your shitty
But
shoes.
it was to kind of give you a map
Just
of
kinda
what
make
this
it-
guy is.
yeah.
And who
yeah, what he sacrificed.
He
Right.
has honor.
Well,
yeah.
there's also a lot of red herrings there. For the whole movie, it could have been any one of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
that,
Correct.
Especially when they
the
leave.
main guy. Yeah.
yeah.
I actually thought for a minute it was his assistant.
No, it's just some intern, right?
Yeah, well, no, it was the guy who did it was an intern at the hospital, but I thought it was his assistant the whole time. That dude, because he had that change all the
Oh, the
time.
chauffeur?
No,
No,
not
that
the
guy was the.
chauffeur.
Oh,
No, not the
no, the
chauffeur.
chauffeur's
The
the
guy that was
dad.
like
His
his assistant
assistant.
that he was
Yeah,
trying to
the
send
assistant.
away to.
okay.
He's
I
like,
was
Well,
gonna say
well, I
the
was
chauffeur
thinking
was
about
the
it.
homie.
Wait, are you talking about the dude who was crying the whole time about getting his son back? Because that's the chauffeur.
Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
that was like mad about. Yeah, that guy was sick.
Wait, Matt? I think we're talking about two different people because the chauffeur is the dad to the son who got kidnapped, and he wasn't mad at all. He cried the whole
Yeah,
movie.
he was a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bee.
He was always looking down.
Yeah,
and
like
fucking-
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing
I
someone.
think you're getting the guys we're talking about mixed up.
I think so.
I think so.
The
But
assistant with the glasses, the guy that would like handle all of his finances and shit with the business. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna go to Hong Kong with the 50 million," and that guy with the check, and then he
comes
then
back.
he ended up being part of the company, and yeah.
Well,
that fuck.
anyways, I thought it was him.
I mean, he didn't really do that guy any favors, really. I mean, other than like trying to fight to keep him on the board or whatever he was talking about. Like that guy, I don't know. He was kind of a snake a little bit too. Remember, because like he meets with him later after the council meeting, and he's like, "Do you think I was just going to be your lackey forever?" Basically, and it's
Yeah.
like, So yeah, I don't know. I like it though. I think it's good. I think it's cool because it's so different than his other movies too. Like it just gives I heard. Didn't they say someone's going to remake this movie
Yeah,
pretty
Spike
soon?
Lee actually is remaking this movie. I don't think it's called
Well, I
High and
was gonna-
Low, but Denzel is in it for sure, and then
Yeah.
somebody else big. I can't remember who.
I was going to ask if Ransom was a remake of this movie
Right,
with Mel
that's
Gibson.
what I was thinking the whole time I was watching this movie. I was like, "Yo, where's Gary Sinise, bro? I knew it was him. I knew it was Gary Sinise."
Yeah,
I mean,
Gary Sinise.
I also like that this movie they didn't
I'm walking.
get it in time. Like they do all that police work and stuff, and they get the 27 million get back out of it, and they pretty much get the whole thing. But it was too late. They were already auctioning off everything in his house. Like it was like, I mean, dude's got $30 million now,
Well, yeah, you just start over.
but still, it was just kind of sad, like they didn't make it on time. They did all that police work, and they were trying because he walks
Yeah.
in, the detective's like, "Did we not make it on time?" And he's like, "Unfortunately, not." Dude's like, "You can sit till the auction."
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
Damn.
it was kind of I didn't like that part.
It's
I liked
heavy.
it a lot because I didn't like it. Because it was kind of fucked up because we got that whole part of that movie of that great police work, like the chase scenes, everything like that, the club, how they did the handoff. Pretty smart. Pretty smart
Yeah, that
in
train
a dance.
sequence was awesome.
Oh yeah, the train sequence. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It was I like this movie a lot. This one's probably my favorite of them all.
Hell yeah.
Bold statement.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, Danny?
I said that's a bold statement.
I mean, I feel like this one is pretty well regarded. I mean, all of his movies are. It's hard. I mean, you could say that about any of his movies, really.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like I said, he's mad influential in the game, especially because he's gone. So all of his movies are just like legacy films now. Like there's nothing new coming out. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Rip. No.
All right. So, Aaron, before
Mhm.
we talk about Rand, you should just talk about Rhapsody in August, so we can just get cut
Let
to
us
Rand.
know about Rhapsody.
It was
Did Richard Gere
okay.
get a gerbil?
No,
Damn.
no, there were no gerbils. It was okay. It was just like about a family that had 3 different generations had to deal with the atomic bomb and how it affected them in different eras, which is it was
Oh wow.
it was cool. It was interesting. It wasn't bad by any means. It was obviously in color, being it's from 1991. And I liked a lot of the characters and whatnot and the struggles, which were kind of similar to the themes in Ikaru. Just some of very similar type atmosphere and acting. But I just didn't like it at the end of the day. Honestly, I felt like it was pretty boring. And I don't usually say that about movies, but sometimes a movie just doesn't grab
Doesn't
you.
cut it.
It's not a good story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and you're just sitting there and you're like, oh man, I wish more shit was appealing to me before this is over. But it got to the end and I was like, I'm glad I watched it still, and I chose it for that reason because it was one of his movies that I hadn't seen.
Shit, it
But
might be
yeah.
his last movie.
I think it is. It's either his last or second to last. I know it was. Yeah, I think it is his last movie to be honest. But and I can't slide him for it. It's still a
Second
good
to last.
movie. Yeah. So it's still worth checking out. If it ever pops itself onto some of the other streaming sites, and I think you'd probably enjoy it overall. But are you going to like it any more than these other 4? I really fucking doubt it, honestly. Like it was pretty boring for me personally. So I'd give it a pretty low rating if I had to rate it.
What you need to watch, Rex, obviously besides Seven Samurai, is Yojimbo. Yojimbo
Or Sanjuro.
or Sanjuro.
Or Sanjuro, yeah.
Those are the samurai movies, dude. Those are sick. Those are a lot of fun.
Do you like samurai storyline shit and like the themes
Yeah,
and
if
all
they
that
pull
crap?
out their swords and use them,
Yeah, they do.
that would be ideal for me. But again, I can get past it.
So you're probably gonna pretty firmly hang on to that, huh?
Going through Ran, yes.
I mean, there's
Because
a lot of blood in Rand, so.
But not with a samurai sword. Except
But that's,
at
I
the
mean,
end.
that's kind of the whole point of the samurai sword is they don't use it until that last,
The line is crossed. Yeah, it's like the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like they're mostly peaceful, but
yeah, but the Jedi
if
are
they
fucking
need to.
stupid because they use their swords all the time.
The Jedi.
They're stupid. They use their shit all the time. At least the samurai live up to what they like. I'm not going to use this until absolutely necessary.
Listen, motherfucker.
When he
if
pulled it out on that
if
ghost, I'll
sabers
remember that.
were real, you'd be using that shit all the time too.
No, I would hold the code, bro.
Hold this.
Whoa.
All right.
All right, let's talk about
Reaching
Rand
out.
so we can all ooze all over the audio here. 1985.
No,
Fucking
the
Huh?
year I was born.
hell yeah, same.
Wow, old guys.
Let's talk about it, dudes.
Fuck, you're old.
What's up,
Yeah.
Rex? I want to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rex, you take us away. You tell us how Rand sat with you.
It was all right. No, I like this movie quite a bit. Again, another Shakespearean tale with that. I like the changes he made in it for this one because everybody knows about this one. It was one I went through in high school. So the 3 brothers, professing love. One of them doesn't do it because he's honest and he's true in his heart. He's the honorable one out of the 3, and he gets banished because I can't remember the word I was trying to use, but the dad.
Their dad like constantly shit on him, right? In the
Yeah,
beginning.
but he wanted to be praised and loved and all that. He wanted to hear more affections than truth. So what is that? Pious?
King Lear.
No, I was just trying to remember the word I was trying to think of for. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Moving on. I thought the movie was pretty sweet. It has some of the best shots in any of the movies he has, I think, outside of High and Low, because like when they're first when he first banishes Saburo,
Saburo,
and then Tang.
Saburo, Jiro, and Taro.
Yeah, that's his son. But the other
Taro.
one he banished was Tonga.
Saburo.
No.
And Toga.
Yeah, that
yeah.
was like his right hand guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Saburo and Toga is like, no, I'm not gonna be banished. I'm gonna disguise myself and like keep an eye on this guy.
This old man.
And he does.
That scene when
He's
they're
bad.
running away in those hills, like it was like one of the most
The
beautiful
first
scenes they
20
shot.
minutes of this movie, like in the grassy hills, fuck me up, dude.
Yeah,
it's so
crazy,
beautiful,
dude.
Dude, it looks so good.
What was up?
The colors in general for this movie are wild.
What was up
Oh,
with
dude,
the
it's
jester,
gorgeous.
dude? I thought the jester was a chick.
Dude, that's the homie. No,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Love the Jester,
That's the
dude.
one.
Yeah.
That's the guy that keeps you grounded.
Oh yeah, totally. With his little sideways pony, like he's from 1991 or something.
dude. He's always talking shit straight to Hidetora's
Yeah,
face,
he's
bro.
the guy that's supposed to keep him grounded, like not
See-
get too high of
Worked
himself.
up and pissed off.
yeah, and like also
exactly.
not
Yeah.
get too big of a head.
Too much of an ego.
He's like, "Are
Yeah,
you talking
exactly.
about me?"
Surumaru
I
is
like
his name.
Yeah, the jester thing is cool because it's like you usually see that in like medieval shit,
Mhm.
but you don't really see it in this type of setting. And I think seeing it here is nice. I don't know.
I mean,
It's
he
a
was
nice
awesome
addition.
too. Oh,
Yeah.
what was that joke he
Yeah.
did? We just kept going. Woo! He talking
No,
about
well,
the
He was
brain-
no,
making
he
fun
was
of Toro.
yeah,
yeah, he was talking shit about the other son, and then one of the other son's bodyguards goes up to fucking kill him, and fucking Rand is like, nah. Hidetora's like, nah, bro.
He gets him through the window like a badass.
Dude,
dude.
his face when he was
Yeah,
up there, like
yeah,
Quasimodo, like
It was sick.
dude. That's an old man you don't fuck with. Like, let his jester do what he's
that
gonna
actor
do.
was the chief inspector from High and Low, but with makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
And I loved how progressively throughout the movie he just got worse looking and
The
worse
lines
looking.
get- yeah,
and his
darker and
hair got all
darker.
tattered and stuff. And he
Dude,
was
at
just
the
on
end
a
when he's just like,
yeah,
Dude's a zombie. Yeah.
dude, it was like, dude, that guy got the fattest cut, or his sons hate him.
That's what you would want.
Right.
included
It's
in there for
definitely
sure.
what it was. It
That
was
was
a big
one or
old
the
cut.
other.
It was a big
Just
old cut.
fucking no, or he's looking at like the biggest tits he's ever seen. He's just like his fucking white hair and long ass beard, dude. Hidetora is my spirit animal. I love that guy.
he was awesome. He was
He
definitely
was
the best.
great. He was great. Another wife with the brows throwing.
That's
shit
Shakespeare for you,
around.
dude.
Yeah, no, for
She
She
real.
was a bad one though, dude. Cutting
Dude,
that
she
guy,
was
She was
sucking on that
fucking
blood.
awesome.
I was like, whoa.
Mm. Yeah.
I was finally
No,
No,
stoked
well,
to
and
see someone
because
die
you meet
like that.
you meet her brother, the one whose eyes Hidetora gouged out, like, and like
Wait,
that's her whole
that's
reason
her
for
brother?
revenge. Yeah, that's her
Yeah.
brother.
Sue
That's
was
her
her
whole-
brother because Sue.
That is Sue.
No, Sue is the
Sumaru.
girl. And then the
Oh.
boy that they find later on at the burned down castle is the boy that he gouged his eyes out. But
Yeah, you know,
but I didn't
I
remember.
thought it was her brother.
Yeah,
I thought it was her
that's
brother.
Sue's brother. Because don't you remember at the end, Sue comes and gets him, and he's like, "My fruit!
Yeah.
I forgot my
Yeah, no,
fruit."
and then they just die too.
Yeah, they ended up dying, but it was part of the whole thing. Like even in
Yeah.
her, because you're probably right, they are related because she talks about the castle.
Well, I mean,
burning
that's
down.
the thing about revenge is nobody wins in revenge, right?
exactly. So I mean,
Last
she
of Us
thought she
Part
did.
Two.
She thought she did.
I mean,
I mean,
She pretty much did. She wiped
The
out.
way
That was
she
her plan
manipulates
all
the
along, is to
situation was
die.
awesome.
Yeah. no, you're absolutely right. She took it like a man too.
You can never lose if your plan is to die at the end. Honestly,
And she wiped out the whole house.
That scene where they're storming, what's his name again? You guys just said it. The guy that looks fucked up the whole time.
Oh,
Hidetora
Hidetora.
Ichimonji.
When they storm
Just call him
his,
Rand. Just call him Rand.
when they storm Rand's compound, that was like that reminds me. I wonder if what's his name took inspiration from Rand for Scarface when they storm his mansion at the end. Brian De Palma, yeah,
Oh,
because I got that vibe the whole fucking time. And he's
I
like,
mean, he's
you know,
not
up in
really
the top
fighting
and
back.
shit.
He's just chilling up there, like trying not to die. Or
from him, but from like his crew, and they're just getting taken
fighting
out.
him
the way
off.
that-
Yeah,
yeah, like it just gave me that Storm the Mansion vibes from
I
Scarface.
like that
which
last
is
guy.
tight.
He's like, "We did everything we could." Ah.
yeah, yeah.
So sick,
Another scene that went on too long. That was tight.
dude. That was dude,
No, that
fuck
scene is-
you,
No,
fuck
scene in the
you,
whole
dude.
fucking
Those
guys.
fucking arrows
No.
when you just see his face and the arrows.
Yeah,
and
you're
the
tripping.
fire
the
and the
first
fog,
4
dude.
times was tight, but the 5th time we're still sitting there, and they keep showing the
It's-
same scene of all the soldiers
That's
again
how
in a stairwell.
desperate his situation is, dude.
I understood the desperation of the situation the 3rd time.
Can we talk about the fabulous color coordination?
No, it did look great.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it helped me
dude.
to tell the difference between the guys.
Red is Taro,
Red.
yellow
It
is
was
Jiro,
Jiro.
blue is Samburo.
And the crazy old
Some Ninja Turtle shit.
Gandalf the Grey is Ran.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
off the fuck, dude. He's so jacked off in that one, man.
Dude,
Gandalf
he's
the
empty,
fuck.
man.
Dude, I don't know if you guys have ever ridden a horse, but there was so many instances in this movie where like they were riding those horses pretty hard. My taint was
Oh, dude,
bruising as I
fuck.
was watching it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Dude, when they were
Yeah.
I don't
coming
know how
through the
those guys
front
do that.
gate in that scene, all the like 5 horses in that one just keep going. I'm like, dude, how are you not hitting each other?
Mm.
I mean, the whole siege of the compound is like that's literally like a greatest scene in cinema history. Really, that shit is so fucking vibrant and beautiful, but also bloody
Mhm.
and violent.
Tyro gets that
And
shot in the back.
Violent.
Boom!
Dude,
Out of nowhere.
no, when the soldiers are coming down the hill in the fog, like that shit looks so fucking good. It's like a painting.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I was in awe of it as well. It looks like some kind of like, painting.
Yeah, an
painting
old
is the best way to
Japanese
put it.
painting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like it's art.
it's
And this
beautiful.
motherfucker was like 75 years old making this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Killing it. Eat your heart out, Clint Eastwood.
I wonder if he was still smoking stogies while he was making this. Because, dude, old Asian men smoking cigarettes looks so tight.
Dude, I mean, high and low, the star of the fucking movie was a cigarette. Whoever that cigarette company was actually the star of that fucking movie because,
And they hit that shit all the way down to the filter, dude.
dude, I don't think it was a filter. I think they just burnt their fingers. They got that
Exactly.
permanent
Businessman.
callus right there, you know?
Dude.
They need that
Fuck
nicotine
yeah.
so they can keep making those
Just
fucking high
drinking the
risk deals.
shit out of that Japanese whiskey.
I've always said
too.
it, dude.
Oh,
dude.
dude.
Japanese dudes or just Japanese people in general look so sick. Smoke makes me want to pick up smoking again.
No, you don't.
Shave, do the bowl shave, and then pick it up.
There you go.
Look at
I'll
that
allow
Chan
it.
Magi.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Chanamagi and just
That will be accepted if you
Yeah.
if you can do that. If you can grow out the rat, shave your head, you can smoke Marlboro Reds.
Ooh, then I could participate in the mullet shake on TikTok.
no,
Dude, it's
no
good
reds.
against
He's got to
Christian
roll
Burger.
himself.
Christian Burger
The
will get you. Dude.
one weird thing for me in this
What a
movie
puss!
in Ran, you guys talked about it with the other movie in Throne of Blood, but it looked like the dude with the shaved heads. They looked to me like they were wearing bald caps.
Oh,
and,
they
like,
for sure were. I don't
They
think,
probably
yeah,
were. The actors probably
yeah.
were for sure. Yeah.
Jiro's head,
Full.
Jiro's
It looked
head looked like
awful.
an alien. When you got a face view of him from like here, it was like he had a UFO head right here. It was crazy. I was like,
fucking Bill
Well,
Darcone
I
over
mean,
here.
4K sometimes does not do old movies any favors.
no. It added 10 pounds just to his dome, nowhere else. I told my girlfriend, I was like, look, it's an alien. And she's all, what the hell's wrong
Homie's
with
gonna
his
have
head?
a hard time dodging those arrows.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
surprised he didn't die sooner from that. It was a target. Thing's huge. Can't
No,
miss
he got
it.
shot in the back like a bitch.
No, that's Taro. I was talking about Jiro. Sorry, did I say Taro? My bad.
No, Taro's the red one. Jiro's the yellow one. Jiro got shot in the back.
No, I thought Taro because Taro's the one that he picked. He was the oldest, and Jiro was the younger one who was going.
Saburo is the youngest one. Is the
he's
blue
the
one.
youngest, but I thought Jiro's the second youngest who got control of Castle 1 and 2. And
Yeah, and
then
I think he's
Taro-
yellow. Is red.
No, he's red. No, Taro is yellow. Jiro
the
is
main
red.
bad guy is red,
And that's Jiro.
and that's Taro.
No, it's Jiro because his wife is his sister-in-law.
Dude, I'm gonna. All right, yeah, it's probably.
Man, I just watched it this morning.
Taro
Or right
dies
before
in the
we watched
beginning.
this.
Okay.
So Taro dies in the yellow, and Kita or Kaeda was his wife, and Jiro comes in and calls her, sister-in-law, and she's like, "It's weird you call me that after what we just did."
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
fucked.
Oh, thanks, Captain
Jiro.
Obvious.
Hell yeah. One thing before we close it off here, I don't know if you guys got this vibe, but with Ran, I felt like I was watching an RPG sometimes.
Like
Like-
cutscenes from a video game or something.
Yeah, when they would talk in those close quartered areas and shit like that, and it was moving the story along.
Yeah.
I several fucking times I was like, this kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy, and
Right.
it's like the influence and the crossover is not just with movies, So I'm sure some of those dudes probably were influenced by movies like this.
100%,
like that.
and that's
So,
why he's got all these movies on Criterion. He's got a specific style that's techniques and stuff that have been used today that we kind of don't see unless you go back and watch some of these movies. You're like, where have I seen this before? It's like, oh, this movie took it from this movie took it from this. So yeah, I think there was a few
Ghost of
times where
Tsushima,
I
for sure.
caught myself, yeah, for sure. And yeah, there's literally a Kurosawa like filter, I think,
Mode in Ghost of
yeah,
Tsushima, yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Black and
Yeah.
white. It looks sick.
It is
Really?
tight
Oh,
as
yeah.
hell to play.
Well, it's that sick black and white
Mhm.
too. That's like
Yeah.
really contrast. Like the white is white.
Mhm.
That director's
Hell
cut
yeah.
on PlayStation.
Actually, High and Low. I did want to mention the beginning of High and Low kind of fucked my eyes up
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit
well the apartment
because that
being
dude's
so
white shirt and dude, I was like, whoa, bro, turn that shit down, homie. Yeah, man, that white shirt was just stunting. I couldn't help it. He looked like he was angelic.
It was a bit much, a little hard on the eyes.
Yeah, but
I
it was
watched
so
it on
good.
a projector, so it's like
projector?
800 maybe at best. So it was great for me.
Yeah,
Nice.
in
was
Rick's
very
living room,
bland.
he uses a projector on his wall to watch movies.
Yeah, I get 120
pretty
inch
cool.
Ooh,
Hard
of
cock.
Roma.
Oh.
Whoa,
Went
it's a big cock, honestly. If that's the
Yeah,
case.
That's a huge cock.
from a 9-incher to a 19-incher. It was crazy.
That must be the shit that everyone in Austin Powers was seeing in the
Right?
sky at the end
look
of
at the size
the
like Johnson.
Yeah. I don't know. My closing thoughts on Kurosawa, like I said, I picked him because I love samurai shit. I love Asian culture. I think most of us do, especially. I know Bond does, especially. And I just think he's really important to the scope of cinema, And we talk a lot about American movies, but there is a lot of Japanese movies we're going to cover, and I thought he would be a good way to ease us into it. He's very well respected, but I've got a lot more of them for you because I'm a big fan of this stuff, ninja, samurai type stuff. So we'll see more of that, but we'll also see a lot more conventional films like High and Low from these types of directors too. So,
Will we see you
yeah.
brandish a samurai sword?
Yes, and I will take it out of the sheath. Yes, I will.
That'd be sick.
Dude, I'm
Actually,
gonna
Rex.
I'm gonna unsheath as well.
No, you're gonna sheath with
jeez.
what's ever on your bed over there.
What about you guys? What are your closing thoughts on the Akira Meister?
He's the goat.
He's
He's
the
one.
goat.
Yeah, he's one of the
He's the goat of
goats.
black
Yeah,
and white,
he's-
man.
And Japanese
He's-
cinema in general. Like, I don't think there's another filmmaker in Japanese history that's as notable or as famous.
John Woo? Well, I don't think he's
But
Japanese.
he's Chinese, but
Yeah.
good try.
Sorry. I don't know. I just thought like action movies for whatever reason.
That's what I
No,
thought happened
see,
when they
that's
took the
what
wrong
you just
kid.
said.
I don't know which one it is.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I love you. You know that.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Kurosawa was awesome. I did like this run of movies. Outside of Ikuru, I just didn't care for that ending. Didn't hit me. But everything else, I did really like, and I do look forward. I'll watch Seven Samurais and some other ones soon. And I like seeing this type of stuff because me and my brother are part Japanese, and we have actual samurais in our family, which is
Hell
crazy
yeah.
sick. Like what?
Hell yeah, it is.
And here I am,
Ichimonji?
and all I do is play video games.
Are you Ichimonji?
We came a long way.
Hell yeah.
Romy-san?
What?
Are you from the
Ramadan?
Ichimonji clan?
No.
Hell yeah. What about you, Danny?
Sorry to disappoint, Brandon.
So disappointed.
I know he just
Nah, man.
shut up.
This guy's the goat of the black and white. I think it's hard to compare any other director, or at least think of any other director, like Brandon was saying, Japanese wise, that I can think of that is so notably well known, and not for anything bad by any means. Like he's one of the best. So yeah, I'm glad you picked these movies because I don't think I've seen any of them, but now I can say I have. 'Cause,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I've
For
seen
sure.
all the popular ones. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
So
definitely
awesome.
gonna probably get me a copy of High and Low and Ran.
there you go.
Throwing
Oh yeah.
a blood maybe one day. Maybe.
There's
I gotta
a
check
pretty
out the
decent.
Seven Samurais.
Watch the other ones, man. I'm telling you,
You
you'll
should,
love them.
yeah. Those, especially those three we mentioned. But Seven Samurai, start with that. You'll love it.
I hope Tom Cruise is in it.
No, that's
No,
Last Samurai.
That's the last
All right.
samurai. He knows that.
really?
He's just
Oh.
being a son of a bitch.
Sorry,
Well,
guys.
you're not going to be joking around anymore on here, okay?
All right, sorry.
It's been revoked. All right. Well, that was Akira Kurosawa. Next week we're going to talk the Wu-Tang Clan, which is a perfect little segue into
Woo.
this. Brandon will not be joining us, but your other three chaps will be here.
Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
I love
Hey,
how
the
excited
movie,
you are.
The 36 Chamber, is sick.
Oh yeah, I did watch that with Brandon.
That
It's
fucking
based on the Wu-Tang album.
well, the
Woo.
Wu-Tang album was based on that.
Whatever. You know what I
At least
meant.
the name, yeah.
Backwards. Excuse me. I'm
That segmented,
dyslexic.
dude. That segmented staff, man. Still today, one of the dankest scenes.
Oh yeah.
I think you'll enjoy these guys more than you think. They're not as gangster rappy as a lot of the other stuff we're going to cover down the line. They're a lot more like philosophical and
Thank you
deep.
for letting me know we're going to be covering gangster
Kitty!
rap down the
Oh,
line.
just wait till I throw in 50 Cent.
Bro, we already did Dre. I mean, he ain't the last of it. I'll tell you that. So excited. It won't be
Interesting.
anytime soon. We got to spread it out. There's so much to
Yeah,
cover.
spread it.
So much to cover.
You know I will.
Spread it and
As
Basic
forget it.
instincts in
always,
here.
this is your host, Practical.
Rex.
And hey, this is Brandon. Don't forget to spread them.
What?
No joking around.
Don't.
Get a
Yeah,
good
stop
spread on that.
Stop
Yeah, I
joking
don't know,
around.
dude.
Was that like your attempt to be like Bob Barker, Drew Carey? Like, go get your pets.
No,
spayed
you
or
guys are
neutered?
just talking about spreading them, and I thought it was funny, so I was gonna piggyback on that.
Well, guess what, dude? I ain't carrying you for a piggyback, so you sit your ass down.
Dude, you're gonna spread
Sit
them
your
for
ass
me.
down
I'll tell you that
No, I'm
much.
not, dude.
Oh,
You talk to me like that.
he likes it.
You're gonna deny me.
I denied you in Viva Las Vegas, didn't I?
As
Nah,
far
it
as
was
you
an-
know.
it
As
was
far
an
as you know.
Mama. It was an Etu Mama situation there.
Well, I don't think that's how you say
He
it.
was on his twin bed, I was on my twin bed, and we were jerking feverishly.
No, there were
So I'm
twin
exactly
beds.
right. There
First
just
of all,
wasn't
they were
a- there
queens.
just wasn't
alright?
a-
They were actually luxury
Don't
beds.
diminish the bed size,
Yeah,
Brandon.
God, dude. This motherfucker gets a free room and he's talking shit on the beds. I'm
All
killing
I
him.
know is I soiled those sheets.
Yeah, you
That
did.
maid probably
Oh my
found a
God.
mess.
Well, she's probably like, oh, they must have ate sandwiches in the bed. There's mayonnaise.
I left her a good tip though. You always got to tip them pretty good when you come in the mattress.
Oh my God.
God.
Well, we'll catch you next week on that note, everybody.
Hey, fucking spill away, dude.